Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of The Top Cut. I'm your host, Crim, and with me are the usual suspects, Drew Holden, Michael Pram, and Kyle Pooka.
We're never going to get that
Pram's
intro
actually,
right.
No, we got it right. This is how we do it, all right? Pram's actually the cat this time, so go figure. He's got a camera issue, so say hello to Mr. Bigglesworth, guys.
Hello, Mr. Bigglesworth.
This week we're going to be covering states again because we just finished week 2 and we're entering the final leg of states. So I know that Drew Holden once again did not go to states, but aside from him, all the rest of us did, and we'll let you guys know how we did. And then after that, obviously, we'll get to viewer questions and call it a show. So either way, let's start off with Michael, Mr. Bigglesworth. How did you do states this week?
Let's see. This week over the weekend, I went to Delaware States. I went 5-2. I kind of drew kind of bad, so that kind of explains why I just lost 2 games, but whatever. Missed cut, unfortunately. But for anyone who was watching our second stream, you guys got to watch the entire top cut from the round of 16 all the way to the finals on stream live, and you got to see some pretty interesting games.
So did they miss the finals this time around, or did you actually?
I checked. I checked afterwards, and the finals did stream. And I checked with the chat. Some people said they saw it. So, people saw it. The internet was kind of shaky because it is hotel internet, and we are using it for free. So you can't expect too much. So it's kind of just random whether you get whether the internet will hold up the entire time or not. But yeah, luckily it held up long enough for the finals to finish.
Very, very true. That's actually really cool. One thing that we might have mentioned last week, but really doesn't get enough attention, is the fact that we do stream states. And for the second week in a row, Pramela got to stream the states, and this time Kyle joined in. So we had 2 different states streaming at the same time. And I mean, obviously that's something that's never been done before. And obviously we don't have the best equipment yet or anything like that, but it shows you exactly what the potential that we have. Or not necessarily us as the top cut, but Pokemon as a whole. And the fact that we can actually start streaming these tournaments, and I mean, the sky's the limit. And it's really cool that we got to do 2 different states at the same time, because people that didn't get to go to these states and actually have some friends that were attending got to see this. So very awesome. And who happened to actually win your tournament, Pram?
Ben Sock won with Zekrom Electric. Oh, and I forgot to say what that guy played. I also played Zekrom Electric. The top 4 was pretty interesting. It was basically 4 Zekrom Electric decks in the top 4. So, wow. Go figure.
Yeah, I remember at the end of week 1, we said that obviously Zekrom Electric was the most popular deck and probably the best deck, but that the fact that Terrakion was coming out kind of started limiting Zekrom Electric. And now all of a sudden we see a full top 4 out of that deck. So, I mean, clearly we were wrong. But what do you think that says about the deck and going into week 3?
About Zekrom Electric or Terrakion?
Zekrom Electric.
It's clearly the deck to beat. I think most people will agree it's the #1 deck in the format. The Terrakion deck is fairly easily counterable with just a few choice cards like Eviolite. And yeah, a lot of people just played that, and then Terrakion really wasn't much of a threat. There was one Terrakion in the top 16 for Delaware. It was unfortunate that it went up against the one Celebi deck in the top cut.
Now, was Terrakion popular in your area, or was it just kind of a couple of decks randomly showing up?
I don't think it was. I mean, compared to Zekrom Electric, it was not popular. But I think it was represented more than I thought it was going to be. So there's definitely a good amount of people playing it. It's just only one person did well enough to make it to the top cut, and then that person got paired against a Tornadus deck. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll touch on that a little bit later on. We're going to get to Kyle's state's performance in a little bit. But, yeah, that's really interesting to me, and we're going to have to definitely point that out as the show progresses. So, Kyle, you went to, I believe, Wisconsin States, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, and what deck did you play? How did you perform?
I also played Zekrom Electric pretty much because that was the only deck I really had cards for. I would have considered Celebi, Mewtwo, Tornadus, but I don't own the cards for that deck, so that Took away that option pretty quickly. Then it was down to Zekrom Electric, and then like Durant, which I didn't want to play. The Terrakion deck, which I didn't really want to play either. And then Typhlosion, which I really didn't want to play. So my choice was kind of made for me. And I went with the Zekrom Electric deck. I started off really badly, actually. I went 2-2 at the start. And I really thought I was just done for the day. And I
thought you were done for the day, too.
What's that?
I thought you were done for the day, too.
Yeah, thanks for the vote of confidence. But
always everything.
Yeah, I didn't go first all day until the last round of Swiss. So going second every round, man, that is such a big disadvantage, especially in like a mirror match when you're just like, oh, I get to do everything first. Good luck catching up. And you're just like, oh, I can't miss a beat at all, or else I am 100% going to lose. And that's pretty much what happened to my games. The other 5, I actually got lucky against the Durant, where I started with the Mewtwo EX, which is not favored against Durant, and then I was pretty much done the whole game. He devoured so many Junk Arms and Double Colorless, I thought I was just done, and I had 2 cards left in my deck. All he has to do is play an energy to devour and win, and he draws his card for the turn, just shakes his head. He goes, I don't have the energy, man. I was like, alright. I will knock out that Durant and I will win. So I got lucky there, but when I went 5-2, I still didn't think I'd make it. I thought I'd miss on resistance because my opponents did pretty badly throughout the day. But somehow I got in. Top 16 I faced Ryan Boardman. I know him as Biggins. Had another Durant match where he got me the first game, and then the second game I thought I was just done. By turn 3, he had actually devoured all 4 of my Junk Arms, which is unheard of. Like, you need Junk Arms to switch, or catcher, or plus power, and all 4 of them are gone by the 3rd turn. So you're just staring at the discard pile like, is this a joke? This is like a prank, somebody playing on me? Like, he stacked my deck and devoured them perfectly? But somehow I won that game, and then the 3rd game, I think probably came down to a crushing hammer flip somewhere, which they usually do. So I won that one, won a mirror match in top 8, and then faced Jay Hornung in top 4, and we actually streamed that match live, so everybody got to see it. I ended up winning the first game. Second game, I thought I was in a good spot, but he initiated the Mewtwo war, and I had a turn to draw my Mewtwo, and I missed it, so I lost. Kind of lame, but not much you can do about it. And then the 3rd game, I had to draw a catcher on the second to last turn of the game. I had 3 left in my deck, and I decided to Juniper for it, and I didn't draw one, so I ended up losing there. But overall, I did better than I thought I would, especially after starting 2-2. So, I mean, can't be disappointed with the 3rd place finish. Obviously would have liked to win, but that was my day. I think the more important part was the fact that I got the stream. I streamed every single round of that tournament, 14 hours straight. So people got to watch the entire event from start to finish. Camera angle might have been messed up a little bit every once in a while, but for the most part it was viewable. The stream never went down, and looking forward to doing that again this weekend.
Very awesome. Yeah, I'm sure the championship points don't hurt either. You got, what, 5 championship points for this?
I think it's 6.
I think it's 6. Yeah, I think he got 6, yeah.
6, yes.
And how many does that put you at?
38, I believe.
Very nice. So you're definitely in contention for the world's top 40 invitations. I know Pramawat is all but secured it by now. So that 3rd place finish really helped you out, because now one could say you're like right in the thick of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the race, but nowhere near like having it clinched or anything like that. Need a few more good performances before I get there, but yeah, I mean, I needed to do well this week because I missed the first week.
I'll never do that. I'm sorry?
I said I needed to do well this week because I didn't get to attend the States the first week.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly true. That brings me to Drew Holden. Drew, what are your plans now that you have had to miss 2 states in a row? What exactly do you see yourself doing for the rest of the season?
It depends if I can go to regionals or not. It's right at the end of busy season, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on at work, if I have to work Saturday or not. So I'm going to see with that. If I can't go to regionals, it's going to be really hard to qualify without doing, like, whatever auto qualify is at Nats, like top 8 or whatever, if they're even doing that anymore. Otherwise, I'm planning on going out to Hawaii, so I'm going to be there no matter what, probably, for Top Cut. Good friend Tom already has a room in Hawaii, so I just have to pay for the flight and trying to grind in. I think there's still a grinder. Kyle told me there was, so that's the plan right now.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
on the edge.
Hey,
if
man.
I go to regionals, it'll be easier, but I don't think I'll be able to, so.
Just follow
grinder.
the Tom Dozel plan of success. You just show up to Nationals, make top 8, and then you're good to go.
Gonna have him train me. Intense sessions.
So States is 100% out of the question for you next week, correct? Or this week?
Yep. So.
All right. So have you actually had a chance to take a look at the format and really examine it, or do you just kind of know it through what we're doing here in the Top Cut?
I haven't really tested that much, honestly. I don't plan on it. It would be kind of a waste right now, I think, since I can't go to States. The format's going to change before regionals if I can go there, and there'll be another setup before Nats, so I don't really think it's worthwhile for me to go through
Actually,
that.
that's pretty true. Yeah. So yeah, I guess you can stay on standby and watch your OSU game for a little bit while we finish talking about States real quick. Also, just so you guys know, this is gonna be a really short episode. Well,
you say that every week. You say that every week. It's like it's gonna be a short episode. Blah, blah, blah.
Just covering
2 hours
we're just
later.
covering States. We're covering the popular decks once again, and then we're doing your guys' viewer questions. The chat won't load for me, so I can't really link you guys to the Facebook page, but please ask the questions on Facebook like you normally do, and obviously we'll get to them as soon as possible. As far as my States experience went, oh man, I really don't want to talk about this, but I guess I have to. I was at the largest state in the country, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say, California State. We had 259 Masters. 259 Masters. Wrap your heads around that, alright? Seriously. This is bigger than pretty much every regional. Yeah, it was 9 rounds of Swiss, followed by a top 16 cut. So you had to go 7-2, and a lot of 7-2s missed. So, yeah, I mean, just seriously, guys, wrap your heads around these numbers because they're inconceivable until you're actually there and you see the sea of people still. It's almost like it's a smaller nationals with, everything wrapped up into one day. Again, I don't know why, but I have a lot of trouble sleeping. Whatever, it happens. I went to this tournament on no sleep. I had my 5-hour energy drinks, which were gold. Literally, they were worth their weight in gold. And yeah, I toughed it out through the day. I started off 3-1, took my second loss round 5, and at that point I figured I was pretty much out, just because I took the losses so early that it's just going to be too hard to make it into the cut, which is sad, but it is what it is. I got kind of derailed. I was playing Tracking, and Tracking actually ended up being really popular here in the West Coast, which I didn't expect to. I played against 3 mirror matches. One of the mirror matches had Shaman EX for tech for the mirror. All right, Shaman EX for tech with EV Light. That's impossible. That is impossible to beat when you're playing Tracking. But I pulled it off. Greatest theoretical mind. What can I say? Yeah, so I got to 5-3, and at that point I was really just in it for the 2 points, trying to grasp onto my chances at Worlds. And then I played against For Alligator, Magnezone, Crim. I thought it was going to be a pretty good matchup because of Magnezones, but then you really just get Crimmed. There's not much I could do. It wasn't really very close at all. I just got steamrolled, and I ended up going 5-4. Very demoralizing. I want to say that I got really unlucky. Normally I don't get tilted at these tournaments, and tilted just means angry. I've been playing this game for way too long, and I've had a lot of stuff happen to me, and I just kind of brush it off now. It's just, that's the part of the game. But this week, it all kind of just factoring in states week 1, factoring week 2. I was overwhelmed, and it was really painful to get these losses because like my round 2 opponent, I believe, was my first loss, or my round 3 opponent was my first loss. And it was the guy that took second place at states. And without exaggerating, geez, I must have been a humongous favorite to win that match. Humongous. And literally everything that could go wrong in order for me to lose that match ended up going wrong, and I lost it. And at that point, I just lost it. I think I texted Kyle. I was like, this sucks. I hate this tournament. I hate this Pokemon game, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it is what it is, and you just kind of like have to roll with the punches. Truck, Chris Silver, Chad Harris, and Chris Silver's girlfriend, Malasad Jenny, they were all at the tournament with me. They traveled with me to Arizona States, California States, and they actually came here for Nevada States. So we're all here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're getting prepared for Nevada States. So hopefully we do better this time. I know Truck took top 8, which was the best out of any of us, so congratulations to him. And hopefully I don't think he's locked up his invite yet, but he's definitely really, really close. So as long as he can keep it up, he should be good to go. And yeah, Nevada State should be a much smaller tournament. I think it's got like a 80-person cap or something like that, so can't wait for that. Apparently not. Apparently it does not have an 80-person cap, but it should be a smaller tournament either way. So that's it for my state's experience. It happens. Can't run good all the time. And I just hope I do better. So we'll see what happens. I know I got enough stuff from Pram throughout the day. He was like, I'm in top, or I'm 5-2 or 4-2 or whatever. Like, yeah, well, I have 3 more rounds than you, buddy.
No, I had 7 rounds. Also,
7 rounds?
funny thing, round 1, I also played versus Magnezone for Alligator Crim. But unlike you, I won.
You're playing Zachary Electric, though, right?
Yeah. But it's still scary staring down 3 glaciates.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Well, it's a lot scarier when you can't even 2-shot it. It's like, well, I guess I could 2-shot it, but it wasn't easy to 2-shot it. And then they just get another one right back, and not a good matchup. But yeah, so what? So be it. What are you guys' plans for this next week for states? By next week, I mean in 2 days.
I guess I'll go first. Basically, I'm going to Maryland states. So if anyone is going to Maryland, please say hi. Also, please pre-register. I think they're on a wait list now. If you're going, if you haven't done so already, but you'll just pre-register if you're going. You know, you might as well. No use not doing it. Anyways, yeah, going to Maryland states. I'm not sure whether I'll have internet or not. So I'm not sure whether I'll be able to stream. If streaming is possible, it will happen on our Twitch page, the Top Cut 2. But if it's not, then I'll just record games and bring them back for you guys to see later. And yeah, that's my plan for Maryland. So.
Very awesome. What about you, Kyle?
I will be at Illinois States, and I've already talked to the people running it, and they will have an internet connection for me, waiting for me. So we'll stream it. I know the tournament organizer wants us to actually stream all 3 age divisions. I don't know how well that's going to work out because, I mean, we just don't have the equipment for one. But we'll stream Masters at the very least. We'll have it going all day for sure. And I just wanted to take this chance to thank everybody from Wisconsin States, Troy Lesky and his staff. They did a great job at Wisconsin States, and they actually gave me my own little corner. They like set up a table in the corner and let me set up my computer and all that stuff, and then set aside a table so we could have a feature match all day. So that was really cool. It helped with the streaming, and I'm hoping to have that again this week because it's a big step forward in terms of covering events. I mean, this is something that's never been done before. We're happy to do it. And, I mean, I think we had over 120 people watching at the end of States last week. And that's even taken into account that most people are actually out playing during that time. So we have a lot of people watching the live stream, which is really cool. I appreciate everybody who took the time to tune in and watch, and hopefully we'll get it better this time around. And in the future, I mean, it's tough because honestly, just putting a camera on games can be pretty boring. If you're just watching people play Pokemon, it's not the most exciting thing in the world. So in the future, I know we need to add commentary during the event. What's going on here? Very loud fan going.
It's a plane,
That or it's
man.
like a plane. Yeah.
Plane.
All right. Anyway, we realize that the games are boring, and eventually we need to add commentary. It's just tough at this point because everybody who would be commentating wants to be playing at states, and
Pokemon is not boring, right? Take that back.
Not only that, there's like also a problem with commentating while doing it. So you have to have proper equipment too. So that's also a downside. A little hurdle. And I think, did Kyle freeze for you guys?
Yes.
That or he's stoic, we'll see. Just to take over what Kyle was saying, because for all we know, he's gone. Yeah, you definitely do need, like, there's certain steps that we're going to be trying to take, and, you know, it's a lot harder when everybody's playing, but we plan, or at least hope, to be able to fix this by Nationals, and hopefully by Nationals we'll be able to stream. We'll definitely run that by the proper authorities and see what we can do. And yeah, we realize that we definitely want to add a commentary, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to do something like that. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy what we've got and see what we can do to better it. So, very cool, very nice that everybody's being so helpful for us. The fact that they let him have a feature table is something that I've been working towards, or at least hoping that we can get for a while. And they almost did that for us at Nationals, but then at the end we just decided to, because there was only a few rounds left, and we just decided to not even bother. But yeah, a feature table would definitely be a great addition, or I meant at Worlds. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. And I think Kyle's just actually lagging out. So okay, awesome, great. So, Kyle, did you have anything else you wanted to add on about this?
Well, I don't know what you covered while I was gone, but
Just expanded on your ideas, on your thoughts.
yeah, so I think for Nationals, one of our goals is going to be to have the live stream, but with commentary, so people can follow along a little easier.
Exactly.
So it's just, even for me, it's tough to just watch people play Pokemon. Like, yeah, it's cool to see it, but like, at the same time, you can only watch Durant devour so many times. You need somebody to help narrate the game as well. So that's just something we need to add in the future.
You're going to need 2 color commentators if you're having Durant played. Let's be serious.
You mean you can't have a play-by-play commentator?
Not for a Durant matchup, no. It's
Devour.
you need 2. You just need 2
I
people
wonder what
just
he's gonna
telling
be doing
stories. Trust me, I like casting Durant must be one of the more painful matchups to cast. So.
Well, there was a guy in Wisconsin who actually went 7-0 with Durant, but like, he didn't even care that he was playing Durant. Every game he would just be like, yeah, I'll devour a couple times, and then when his opponent takes like 3 prizes, he just goes, Mewtwo, N.
What?
And it worked like every game.
7-0, baby. 7-0.
Yeah. He was down 5 prizes one game, and he just goes, Mewtwo, Double Colorless, Eviolite, N, and he takes 6 straight prizes.
It's so
It's like-
methodical. He just checks through this card. He's like, "You're out of everything. Go Mewtwo."
He's just like, yeah, this Durant thing, that's just kind of a front. I'm just trying to trick you and trying to get you to play it one way so that I can just drop my Mewtwo and go for that.
That's next level Pokemon.
And I ended up catching up to him because he got too aggressive with Mewtwo, and he forgot that it was actually a Durant deck.
Hey, if he perfected that style of faking out like a little fake out punch with Durant and then following it up with Mewtwo, he could have been your state champion.
Yeah, it stopped working.
Real quick, guys, do you see the chat on our Twitch page, or is it just out for everybody?
I see
It was
it.
working.
Okay. Well, it's not working for me, so
Yeah, we know.
again, I can't really tell these guys. Yeah, I can't really tell these guys that go to Facebook, ask us the questions, and
We've already been doing it, man.
Well, perfect. I can't know, but thank you. I appreciate
We've
it.
also been taunting you all throughout the chat.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I like that, man.
All
How about
right.
those
Well,
Buckeyes,
anyways,
man?
what did you guys think about Terrakion? And obviously, it was the big deck of week 1. Week 2, I think it kind of just fell off. What are your guys' thoughts on it, and why do you think it fell off if you do?
People just had too much time to prepare versus it. It's like the deck doesn't really do much, right? It's easy to predict what's going to happen. So if you just have some sort of game plan versus it, then you win. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I played the Terrakion deck, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and you also went 5-4.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say was the Zekrom Electric matchup wasn't as good as expected, but it was good. The Tornadus Mewtwo matchup was actually favorable, which is what I expected, but most people disagreed. But the Tornadus Celebi Mewtwo matchup was actually pretty good. And then really, I mean, I struggled against the random decks, which is expected. That's like when you're playing tracking, you're just hoping you don't play against random decks. Hey, go figure, I played against random decks. So that's what happens. I was sweating like a lot of bullets because there was Vileplume all over the place, and that's just not a good matchup. I know Chad Harris played the same tracking deck, and he played against Vileplume round 1. That sucks. You start off 0-1, you're not in good shape at California State.
Yeah.
So
basically, all Vileplume has to do is attack with Vileplume, and then they win.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they can do literally whatever they want. As long as they get a Vileplume out, they're probably winning.
Well, I know this strategy because Ben Potter played the Big White Hope week 1 of States, so I got to see this strategy in action.
The new secret deck. The really secret deck. You know, Terrakion got a lot of hype, but the Big White Hope did not, and it delivers. Sort of.
I think
yeah.
the tracking deck, it was on everybody's radar, but everybody kind of looked at it and said, yeah, this is pretty good, but am I really comfortable playing that in a tournament? Like, am I comfortable just playing Terrakion? And for most people, I think it was no. Like, first of all, this deck is brand new, probably don't have much time to test it, so you're just looking at it like, all right, I don't have much experience, I'm probably not going to play it. Second of all, you're just like, people are probably going to counter it now. They know it exists. Doesn't have the surprise factor. And then also, its matchups weren't great to begin with. Like, all of its matchups are probably like 50-50. Maybe you have a little bit of an advantage, but for the most part, it's all like coin flip matchups. So you're pretty much just saying, all right, I'm going to land crush and retaliate, and I'm going to hope for the best. And that's pretty much all you do. And it can either work or it can't. As you can see, you can be Kern Hill, you can win a state championship, or you can be Crim and go 5-4. I mean, you really have no real control over what happens. It just kind of plays itself out for you. And I mean, what do you expect when it's a deck with 4 Pokemon? And
Yeah.
what?
Really quick, Kyle. While I don't disagree with you, I went into the States obviously with very little playtesting, unfortunately, but so be it. I'm in Vegas. I can't really playtest very much. I went into States and I decided, you know what, the tracking deck is actually solid. It doesn't seem very hard to play, and it seems interesting. You know, let me have some fun this tournament. That's really what I was thinking. So I go into California States and go figure. It's actually got a little bit more depth to it than I really gave it credit for. The matches and I'm not saying that like it takes a high level chess player to play this deck. No, by no means. But you do have to do a lot of combat math because that's really all you can do. That's all you can do is just make sure that you win the prize races and hope that they don't. Or by hope I mean do what you can to make it so that they can't take the easy tracking prizes every turn. Whether that means just catch or loss remover, whatever it takes. Your tools available are really just loss remover.
What kind of combat math are we doing here? You do 90 every turn.
I didn't mean combat math. I meant like combat war, where there's some decks where you actually just specifically try to prize race, and this is one of them. where you don't set up for like a lot later in the game. You don't set up to try to establish dominant board position. There's no dominant board position with tracking. Your dominant board position is literally hoping you can get your experience shares in play so you can keep doing your revenge. That's what you do. So since you don't have that option available, since you can't really establish dominance, you have to find another way to win, which means you raise prizes. You try to take cheap prizes wherever you can. I was capturing tie rogues left and right like that. I mean, that's really the only thing that you can do to like kind of keep up in the prize race when you can only deal 30. So
that's my biggest complaint about the deck.
Exactly.
You need like everything to go your way. Like if you miss an experience share, if you miss an energy drop, if you run out of Terrakians, like you're going to lose. Like you need everything to go well the entire game. If you miss any step of the way, like if you get one turn where you're not retaliating for 90, you actually just straight up lose, which is what I hate about that deck. Like if you miss a single beat, your entire flow just gets thrown off and you're going to lose the game. So I think that's what really holds the deck back.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely flawed. It took me a couple of rounds to realize it, but once I suffered my first loss, I kind of realized that, oh, hey, the deck isn't perfect. But I definitely liked how I could manipulate a lot of things, especially in the mirror. The mirror is a little bit luck-based, because I also I turned 3 of a mirror match. The poor guy didn't get a second track in, and I went first in one of my very only matches in which I got to go first. Turn 2 retaliate, turn 3 land crush with a plus power. Sorry, sir. But then if the match actually drags on, actually I got quad plus power. That's one thing that I really want to mention. In mirror match, I got quad plus power to lose that match. How sick is that? That's so bad.
Well, it could have been a black belt.
No, he wasn't behind on prize.
Well, he could have been behind on prizes later and black belted.
Yeah, that would have been fine. That would have meant that I'm keeping. But yeah, either way, I definitely looked at him and I pictured Pram. That was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, like I saw your face for a split second. Hi, Pram.
Hi.
I was gonna say hi, Pram.
You can't see this, but I'm grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah, it's all right. Either way, it does tell a lot about the deck. The deck isn't bad, but whatever. It definitely has its flaws, and Kyle pointed them out. Exactly. Now, other decks you guys might... do you really want to say, this is Zekrom Electric, Selby meets Tornadus, and everything else is kind of just, whatever. Is that really what we're saying right now?
Durant, baby.
Well, I mean, Durant's fine, but I mean, I guess it is a third, like the third leg, the third wheel or whatever. But then after that, is there anything else that can compete in your guys' mind? Or are these decks just that much better than everything else?
Without a doubt. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, Zekrom Electric and Selby Mewtwo Tornadus, they are by far the top 2 decks in the format, and nothing comes close. They both have like 15 wins each at states. And the next closest deck is like Durant with like 3 total. This is like taking into account international results too. So I mean, just by the numbers, nothing really comes close. And it's probably just because those decks are more consistent. And when you look at the other decks that are there to challenge the top 2, I mean, you just need too much stuff to kind of pull off what their deck's trying to do. Like, you don't see as much Typhlosion because it's stage 2. You don't see as much Trainer Lock. They play stage 2s. Just stuff like that. And it's hard to compete with these 2 decks when they're already super strong and they're very consistent. So I think those are the top 2 decks, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing is they're extremely fast too. And the fact that, I mean, seriously, if you miss a beat when you go second, you lose. That's the truth. So, I mean, this is with a stage 1 deck. This is with a all basics deck that you're talking about. Let alone a stage 2 deck where you actually need to have things like Rare Candy in your opener, or in your first, like, say, 15 cards. This is really, really, really fast format, and it's not looking good for these rogue decks, unfortunately. There are some rogue decks which look interesting, but at the end of the day, you start playing these matchups, and it's just not favorable enough. So that's unfortunate, but we'll we'll definitely have to keep an eye out to see if any other decks can prove us wrong, to see if anything that just flying under the radar is going to come out and pull off some upsets. But yeah, unless you guys want to cover something, I do want to go into viewer questions pretty soon, because the truth is that this should be a viewer question type of show, which we just have to help prepare people for states. So unless you guys have something to add on, I'd like to take a break. Woo!
Nope. I think we're good.
Right.
So we'll see you guys.
Break it is. All right, guys, we'll be back in like 5 minutes.
All right.